Good evening, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I'm here to declare the winner of the video response wars this week, which unfortunately happens to be me due to the fact that nobody participated. Now, the first question I always get is, why do I continue running a contest where periodically I happen to be the only one winning? Here's the answer. The answer is, I don't give up. Too many people these days, if something is not a little bit successful right off the bat, they just quit. I've had it. Quit. What kind of response does that give to you? If I'm no different than everybody else and I just say, quit, then how will you learn how to endure things? I endure this week after week after week to prove to you, my viewing audience, and eventually, as you endure, you'll get what you want. There's going to be some weeks where there'll be no winners at all. And there'll be other weeks where there'll be lots of winners. But the point is, you don't quit just because things don't work the way you want them. Did Thomas Edison quit just because he didn't get the light bulb on the first try? No. He found 1,000 ways for the light bulb not to work. You can say the same thing about Alexander Graham Bell or any other inventor. The point is, just because it doesn't work on a particular day doesn't mean it's never going to work. I've had contestants in my video response wars, and I've had winners. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. It's the way it works. So, until I drop dead, this video response wars contest will continue indefinitely. Period. Even if I have to declare myself the winner to do it. Now, here's something else I want you to think about. When you see somebody, and let's say we have Bob and Bill, okay? And Bob goes to Bill and he says, "Can I have a cookie?" So Bill goes out and he finds the cheapest cookie he can find and gives it to Bob. Bob's sitting there going, "Okay, thank you," in a grudging way. What did Bill expect? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you? For such a small thing? That is the problem with the United States today. They want to do so little for their neighbor, but they want so much thanks because of it. You practically have to worship these people before they'll even do anything for you. That's a poor attitude of the United States. Let me tell you something. When I started posting these videos, I was kind of expecting not to be watched right off the bat. I almost knew I wasn't going to be watched right off the bat. And the ingratitude that I have received from people because they have watched my videos, I just don't like that. It's been overwhelming. But that didn't stop me from doing this. I didn't get on this thing and produce 5 videos and expected everybody to just worship me. I knew there would be people who'd like me, and I knew there would be people who wouldn't. But I produced them anyway. The point is that if you're not going to give them your very best, you're not going to give people your very best, whether they thank you for it or not, don't bother giving. I can't tell you how many people will grudgingly pull 5 pennies out of their pocket and put it in the little Salvation Army kettle, but yet they expect that kettle guy to say, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." That's ridiculous. Listen, if Bob had asked me for the cookie, I probably would have gone to Mrs. Fields, gotten the biggest cookie that could be gotten, and handed that to Bob. Then I'm pretty sure Bob would have said, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." If you're not willing to give your very best, don't expect the very best thank you. It doesn't work that way. Listen, when you go out and buy the cheapest McDonald's sandwich and French fries and give it to somebody who is mowing your great big yard, And I'm talking about the kind that would look, it'd be like if you saw it on the TV show Dallas. You see those great big yards because they have this great big mansion. You buy somebody a cheap McDonald's meal, what they're going to do is say, hey, next time you can mow your own yard. And I'd agree with them. Because when they're bearing that hot sun for hours for you, they expect more than a cheap sandwich and a bag of fries. Now you go out and you buy them an Applebee's $20 gift card, and you say, here, this is how I feel about what you just did with my yard, and they're more than likely going to mow your yard again. You people always expect the highest quality things, but you don't want to give them anything for it. And that's wrong. You know, Ruth Cobb traveled all over Bloomington helping me find those remaining signs I couldn't find on my first trip. And what did I do? I gave her a nice big shout out right here on YouTube for it. I even took the time to go back up to Bloomington to personally videotape those signs, to personally videotape those locations, and to show everybody where these things are at. When I contacted Julie Johnson, she had one of her co-workers personally walk me to the Looking for Lincoln sign out there near the Ottawa Boat Club. You know what I did? I took my video camera, I went all the way up to Ottawa, followed that guy, and then personally walked you, this viewing audience, to that sign so you would know exactly where it was. You could see what was around there, whole 9 yards, so you know where that thing was. I spent the gas, I bought the food, the whole 9 yards, to make sure you guys saw that. And I personally thank Julie Johnson and her co-workers on that video to let them know that I really appreciated what they did for me. I even thank JJ's Pub for helping me get the word out that these Looking for Lincoln signs are out there and people should check them out. I actually went into their establishment. I greeted the very person who posted up that Facebook page. I said, I am Ted the Speed Learner, and I really want you to know how much I traveled all this way just to see you, to tell you in person how much I appreciated what you did for me. So believe me when I tell you, I do appreciate when people help me find these Looking for Lincoln signs. You may not think so, but I do. Okay? Now then, that leads us all up to this. There is a town called Fountain Green, Illinois. It really exists. It is just south of La Harpe, just west of Macomb, and just east of Carthage. Now, just outside of that town is the St. Simon Cemetery. The St. Simon Cemetery. It is also known as the Lincoln Catholic Cemetery. Now, it is on a 2-lane blacktop. Okay, well, at least the sign. The sign is positioned right next to a 2-lane blacktop. And if you walk from that sign all the way to the cemetery, you walk about a mile. I know this because I checked it out on the map. Now, you say, well, that's wonderful you tell us all this. Here's the thing, though. As far as I can tell from any pictures I've seen of this area, so far, there is not one safe place to park. Now, I fully intend in 2013 to travel to Fountain Green, Illinois, to travel to St. Simon Cemetery, to videotape that sign and that cemetery. So what I'm asking from you people is, if you live in that area, if you live in Carthage, if you live in Macomb, if you live in La Harpe, go down there, okay? Find out where this thing is exactly and show me a safe place to park. Even if you don't live there, if you know somebody who does live in that area, contact them. Say, we need to know a safe place to park so that when he goes up there next spring, he won't be looking. He'll just park there, he'll get what he needs, and get out. Because believe me, it's going to be about a 2.5 hour drive. It's going to be a 2.5 hour drive just to get up there. And then for me to try to find a parking spot. Okay. So, anyway, if you guys live or know somebody that lives in the area of Fountain Green, Illinois, I could use your help. Also, for anybody that lives in or near Pittsfield, Illinois, I could use your help there too. There are some signs that have not been properly documented yet, and I need to know exactly where they are and where to park. Alright. Well, I think I've said everything I need to say here tonight. I want you all to know that I thank you very much for tuning in. Now keep this in mind. When you guys participate in the video response wars, you are actually being exposed to 515 people. Why? Because there are 515 people that watch me on a regular basis. So, they watch you. You are doing yourself a favor by posting a video as a video response to the video response wars. You really are. So do yourself a favor. Enter my contest. It will give you an automatic shout out, an automatic comment, an automatic like, and if you win, I talk to you directly. How many contests have you participated in that could say that? And you might even get me to subscribe to your channel too. You never know. So like I said, you're doing yourself a favor by participating in my contest. That's the way it works. Alright folks, well, that's it for me for this evening. I thank you for tuning in. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.